Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Brand new Cabral HouseCall today. Excited to get into the questions that are in front of me right now. Just open up the Word document that the team sends over, and always excited to see what questions we have for the day. So I always like to let people know that I don't do specific prep work for the show. I'm basing my answers on what is top of mind after the past 25 years of working with well over now 300,000 people in our practice, and want to give you hopefully the best second opinion that I can. Can't provide any medical advice, medical diagnosis, medical cures, or medical treatments, but what I want to do is share with you maybe a different perspective, and that's always the goal. So I'm looking at the first question today. Darren is up first, and Darren is asking or saying, "Good day, Dr. Rawl. Hope all is well. Question just to clear up something for me rather than I remain confused. I'm about to purchase Fatlocity for a loved one, and I'm not disputing the fact that it works, but I just checked ingredients and I'm seeing sunflower oil listed. Isn't that also a much maligned seed oil? Why would it be in a product, or is it absolutely necessary? Or do you guys formulate in a way to minimize the usual fallouts from using it? Keep up the great work." All right. Thank you, Darren. Always happy to answer these questions. So instead of not using the product or saying that, anybody like myself or any other formulator messes up, always ask them why. So Darren, I really appreciate that. So there's sunflower oil in it for basically 2 to 3 main reasons. So the first one is that we're actually using that. And so first I want to step back. It's under other ingredients, and there's no nutritional fact supplement panel. That means there's less than almost nothing in it, meaning in terms of there's no carbs, there's no fats, there's no proteins. So this is a tiny amount of sunflower oil. We're talking about maybe if I'm holding a pen right here, the tip of the pen, not even that in a capsule, less than that. And so why then use it at all? Well, you can use sunflower oil in a few ways. Sunflower oil is actually not a nasty product unless it's been oxidized, exposed to high heat, then it becomes rancid. Our products are not exposed to high heat. They're not cooked in any way, and there's such a tiny amount in there. And it also helps then with the absorption of a couple of those specific nutrients inside of the product. That's why it's there. So in the future, if people are really worried about it, it doesn't have to be there. Some things have to be there, right? You have to be there to move through certain machines, et cetera, et cetera. What the sunflower oil also allows us to do, besides the absorption, is to evenly spread out the ingredients per capsule. And that's important to us too. So again, it doesn't have to be there. I see no issue with it being there. It's such a small amount, and it's a non-oxidized form of it. So hopefully that's helpful. All right, Deanna is up next. "Hi, Dr. Ball. Thank you for your amazing work. I just started your program this year, and I've seen wonderful results." Happy to hear that, Deanna. "My question today is in regards to my husband. He has a simple cyst on his kidney. It is not interfering with anything right now. However, the troubling part to us is that it's huge, about the size of a football. He retires next summer, and we are thinking of having it drained while he is still on insurance. I know some complications can occur by either leaving it if it continues to enlarge, or possible infection on draining, etc. I know you can't give medical advice, but if this was you, are there any things you might try before opting for surgery? Thank you." Okay, so happy to help, Deanna, and thank you for writing in. Appreciate you. And I can't provide medical advice or medical treatment plans, but if it was me, what I would probably do is finding that it's the size of a football, right? So a football is larger than my hand. It's, like the size of my head on someone's back. The problem with that is that can then begin to interfere with blood flow potentially in other areas of the body, and it could lead to other complications. So there's a few things that you can think about before draining it, because that may not be a bad idea if your doctor is suggesting that, in order to shrink it, right? So that it doesn't impede blood flow in potentially other areas, or push other things, literally move them. Okay, so Although you might have to do this with medical supervision, you may want to do a longer fast. Sure, a 21-day functional medicine detox would be fantastic, and I would probably do that first to get the body ready for a longer fast. And then you may want to do a longer fast, which might be a water-based fast or a green juice-based fast, and allow then the body, when it's not getting food, to begin to metabolize and break down tissue that should not be in the body. Something to think about, all right? Thank you, Deanna, for writing in. Lydia's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for the abundance of knowledge that you share on a daily basis. I'm super grateful to have found your podcast. Thank you, Lydia. Grateful for you. I wanted to know your thoughts on the use of colloidal silver, topical use on face as a toner, just as part of a simple everyday skincare routine. There are also mixed thoughts online on its oral use, such as adding some to your drinking water to treat a cold or other symptoms. Thank you in advance. Well, as you know, we don't treat any medical diseases here, but I use colloidal silver all the time in my house. We have the colloidal silver nasal spray. We have the colloidal silver throat spray for my daughters. We have the colloidal silver big jug that we can put on cuts and other items like that as well. So we're big advocates of it. We use it for gargling for the tonsils, for whatever it might be. And you'll see it as part of my protocols. You can go to stevencabral.com/the-protocol. You see that from my, excuse me, you can see that from my viral protocol. You can see it for my children's protocol, which is at stevencabral.com/children-protocol. And if you ever can't find these links, just ask at cabralsupportgroup.com and we'll find them for you. Okay, so there's that. So let's answer them both. Short-term use, I do believe that, so again, I can't give recommendations, but we have no issues with using it internally. Anywhere between like 3 and 6 weeks. No issues with that. And then what about externally? Well, keep in mind, it's an antimicrobial. So it can kill fungus, it can kill bacteria, it can kill microbes, pathogens, etc. So would I use that every day for skincare? I probably wouldn't, but I would use it for probably the same amount of time. And I have no issue with that, 3 to 6 weeks. If you had any type of bacterial overgrowth, or maybe you're doing it after a workout or something like that, I wouldn't have an issue with it. A typical like everyday toner for the rest of your life, no, that probably wouldn't be my recommendation. Some people use a witch hazel, some people use an apple cider vinegar for a toner. And some people don't. It doesn't work for their skincare. I believe skincare wise, you really need to know what works well for your skin, your body, and finding out what your body needs. A little bit more of an acid-based product like apple cider vinegar, that may work. And for others, not so much. All right. So hopefully that was helpful. Laura's up next. Hi, Dr. Rawl. I'm wondering how to actually use a cast iron pan. I've listened to your podcast about pots and pans and figured it's the safest one for pancakes and such. But how to properly use it if you don't want to really cook with oil? It seems impossible. Also, are old enamel glazed pots okay? Thank you so much. All right, let's tackle the old enamel glazed pots. An old pot in general is not ideal because by the time it's like 10 years old or so, there's going to be particles that are coming off that pan. So if it's enamel glazed, I just wouldn't want, when I look at things in general, so what do I recommend? Like basically cast iron, glass, stainless steel, what else? Some ceramic. Yeah, those are, I'm sure I'm leaving one out, but basically those are the ones. Copper can be okay if you're not high in copper. So these can be all things that can be acceptable. And all my recommendations are at stevencabral.com/resources. It makes it easier for me too, because I don't have to remember all of them. I just put them all on one resource page. So enamel, I'd be careful with that. I'd be really careful with that. I wouldn't want you to keep scraping that off, especially if you're using a metal spatula. Better to use a silicone spatula or a wood spatula, something you're not going to scrape the pan with. Okay, now cast iron is very difficult to use if there is nothing coating the pan. I don't disagree with that. Glass, easier. Ceramic, easier. Stainless, easier. But for the most part, with those, you'll want to see what foods need something and what don't. And then at your choosing, you could use olive oil at a low or medium heat. You could use avocado at the same. You could use a grass-fed butter. You could use a ghee. You could use a coconut oil. And those might be ones that you decide to cook with. Now, keep in mind, you've already added a good amount of fat to the food, which is absorbed in, so you may not need to add more fat afterwards. All right, so hopefully that's helpful. All right. And the goal is not to burn the oil, right? That's the thing that we're all trying to watch for, is not burning and oxidizing the oil. All right, let's do another question. It's from Anonymous. Anonymous says, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. I'm trying to get more protein in my diet as well as heal my leaky gut. I've been using glutamine and protein powder, lots more than usual, both to help heal my gut and more protein in my diet, but I've discovered since adding these in that the glutamine in the protein powder and glutamine powder I take is giving me anxiety and panic attacks. Is there anything I can do to prevent this? Or is glutamine just a product that doesn't work well for some people, and are there alternatives I can use?" Great question. So we work with this a lot on 2 different tests, the Candida Metabolic and Vitamins test, and especially the Mind and Mood Neurotransmitters test. And you can actually see if it's affecting you. So Anonymous, that Mind and Mood Neurotransmitters test would be the best one for you, but I can tell you already what's going on, again, without giving you a diagnosis. So glutamine has a pathway in the body that can move to glutamic acid, glutamate, or GABA. And the problem is there can be a breakdown on how it's actually processed in the body. And we see this oftentimes in children with ADD, ADHD, executive functioning disorder, autism, Asperger's, etc. And so what I would say with you is that's why a lot of these kids too also have gut issues, and you want to use glutamine, but you have to be careful how you use it, because oftentimes these children are missing the cofactors, and also adults can as well. What are the cofactors? The cofactors are magnesium, zinc, copper, vitamin B6, and sometimes iron. So what you want to look at isn't necessarily just, can my body handle glutamine? Everybody's body can handle glutamine because you need it, right? It's essentially amino acid. But you want to look at it as, am I missing the cofactors? Because your cofactors need to actually increase if you're increasing your glutamine. So that's why I really love, and I've done this for a long time, and that's why we came up with this product, Daily Nutritional Support. It has your B6, it has magnesium, it has zinc, it has copper. Now, that your needs may increase based on increased protein or glutamine intake. So the first thing to do is lower your glutamine so that you get to a level that doesn't give you anxiety and panic attacks. Then it's to add in your cofactors, which I just spoke about, and then it's to gradually and slowly work up your glutamine. But I recommend not just a glutamine powder, but something called healthy gut support. So you don't need to overdo glutamine, because you're getting N-acetylglucosamine, you're getting marshmallow root, you're getting aloe vera, and you're getting zinc carnosine. All of those have been proven to help with leaky gut besides glutamine. So it has glutamine too, but that doesn't have to be the only thing to help repair the gut. All right, so hopefully that was helpful. And that's exactly how we do it. It's called the CBO Finisher. And we use that to help heal and seal the gut, just like you're trying to do as well. So hopefully today's show is helpful. I'm going to be back tomorrow answering more of our community questions. Stay tuned. Keep sharing the show with people that you believe it could serve. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.